An enemy will almost never be anything except an enemy. All one can do with an enemy is defeat him, but an adversary can sometimes become an ally. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. The Tide Defender is apparently going to be coming to the holotables, which is a great addition to the game. Thrawn created the TIE Defender. He invented it as an alternative to the Death Star, trying to argue that the tactical flexibility that the TIE Defender offered was a lot better than just one big hunk of metal that the Imperials could lose from one farm boy. I mean, he didn't say that specifically, but that was his argument. And of course, he eventually got shouted down by all the tryhards on the Empire side. And by tryhards, I mean they're trying hard to be lazy. They're just like, you know what, one battle station, let's just keep it simple. So we've got this new thing, and it's very interesting, guys. I don't really know how I feel about this, honestly. Let's jump in to the actual. Well, we'll stay here. Whoa, we're looking at the browser madness. All right, so Iden Versio is going to be the pilot. That's not too much of a surprise, honestly. I think in the game she was a pilot, actually, that she was in. It's a galactic chase. I like that they just said that right off the bat. It's an attacker. It's Empire. Surprise. And I think the most interesting thing is it just immediately says bringing a much-needed punch to Executrix fleets. And my thought is Executrix fleets have a much-needed ability, like what they need. They don't need a punch. They need an ability for the scythe to just not die instantly. Just not just be complete dog crap, poop, whatever it is. That's what we need. We need, and it's interesting that too. They don't have any of the the other meta Imperial ships here at all for the synergies, like the ones that we use to take down like Profundity. You know, like the team that takes down the best fleet in the game. Like we have none of those. Like maybe TIE Fighter's part of that, but otherwise, like Executrix is part of it. But otherwise, they're like trying to make us use a fleet that we're not going to use, kind of, unless you're telling me this beats the Profundity on its own. Like, if you're telling me that, I am probably just going to stop listening. Frankly, I'll probably hang up. So, looking at all the rest of this, though, let's see. So, new effect, special forces. Hey, they have more effects and stuff. Do you get that from coming in as reinforcements? Yeah, to be special forces, you have to be in reinforcements, apparently. Look at how hard they're trying to sell this. Has an undispellable, irresistible, unavoidable stun. That's right, you heard us. You heard us. We heard you wanted an undispellable, irresistible, unavoidable stun, and we delivered. Use the formation buff throughout reinforcements. Oh, okay, cool. Let's see. It counts as a TIE Fighter. I mean, that's a little bit cool, I guess. I mean, if they're just going for it, though, guys. Okay, inspiration. So they're inspired by things that aren't the current canon, which I guess I can nod to. You know, like the original TIE Fighter game way back in the day. Like I used to have that. I used to have the joystick and, you know, just be able to just go and blow things up. That was a fun game. You get promoted at a way higher rate than you actually ever would be in real life. It gives you like an unrealistic view of what's actually going to happen in real life. You're like, wow, it's been like, I've done like 3 good things for my boss. Why am I not like promoted already? This is crazy. All right, Executrix needed a 5th ship. I wonder who they're assuming is the 4th ship. Like, which ships do they think we need? Is my question. I want to know. Hold on, I gotta put this on silent, guys. Alright, part of the problem with making a video while you're on your lunch at work, right? So, let's see. What else? We weren't expecting special forces is a cause. So, they're kind of like, they're taking like the new and the old, but they're totally ignoring that Thrawn invented the TIE Defender here, guys, because it's inconvenient, because it's not Thrawn's ship that they want TIE Defender to go with. They want Thrawn's ship to go with Executrix. And Tarkin's like, no man, I wanted the my vote was for the Death Star, but I'm also getting the TIE Defender as well. Like I guess it's nice to be the Moff, right? Basic, basic, basic. Pew, pew, pew. It's a lot of W's. Or, alternately, if you look at it really strangely, it could be a lot of M's. Really a lot of incomplete M's. So, or N's for that matter. Actually, N's don't work. And then, hey, Liv, an FAQ before we ask questions. Why is it a TIE fighter? They wanted it to work with the Executrix fleet. So they're custom building this for the Executrix fleet. That's great. Laser. Hey, look at that. It has laser cannons. I guess that's good attention to detail. It's an L-lowercase s, uppercase 9, point, uppercase 3. Alright, I know numbers can't be uppercase, guys. I know that. You don't need to tell me. Alright. Alright, so deals physical damage 3 times. I like the things that deal damage 3 times because everyone's getting those stacks of whatever it's called. The things that make them more resilient, like Razor Crest has them, and now Profundity ships all get them immediately. That's so and every time you hit them, you take one of them down, so this immediately just drags 3 of those stacks down, and each of those stacks reduces your total damage by like 20%. So this is a nice little ability here, especially if it's supposed to be against Profundity. For each critical hit scored, which that's not Profundity at all, because you can't really crit them. Grant TIE Defender a stack of resilient defense, so that's like it's gonna taunt, I guess. If TIE Defender has special forces, this attack has more critical chance and critical damage. Yeah, like you could keep stacking critical chance, but you're not going to crit that team, so I don't know what you're thinking. Unless I don't even know who would win between Advantage and Profundity. I don't remember what the kits say, but one way or another, this isn't Advantage one either. Deal physical damage. So this is the thing. So they kind of oversold it. So if the TIE Defender has special forces, but you only get that if you're reinforcements, this stun can't be dispelled, evaded, or resisted. That's cool. You can stun someone. I want to see how much damage this does, guys. That's the big thing for me. Iden does a crazy amount of damage on the ground. I'd love to see TIE Defender just destroying things, but that's all it's got. It's got 2 attacks. It's got the pew 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 annoyingness, and then I like that they quoted long cooldown. Long cooldown was like, get your stun out there as soon as possible. And that's just so you can dispel it, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, you got a couple uniques here. Grant 10% turn meter to the allied capital ship, so that's not something against Profundity. And an additional 10% turn meter if TIE Defender has special forces. So whenever they evade an attack, so that's like the TIE Fighter right now. So that's not Profundity tech. This effect is tripled for Empire capital ships. So that's actually crazy. An additional 10% if the special. So 20%, you get 60% if you evade. This is actually pretty nuts, guys. If you look at it as so if you just kind of take off, like pump the brakes just a little bit and say, all right, maybe we're not going to, we're not going to counter Profundity. If we're countering other things, though, this is a little bit crazy, actually. So this effect is tripled for Empire capital ships. So 60% turn meter if you dodge, but then it also, so it gains these buffs and everything. It counts as a TIE Fighter. Great for purposes of the Scythe or the Scourge or whatever the hell it's called. TIE Defender gains 10% evasion, 20% offense, all this cool stuff that they couldn't have just added to the kit. Whenever to the actual stats, whenever TIE Defender, this is decent just in the sense that it's going to scale better as long as you keep upgrading the ship. Like you can actually, this is more beneficial than actually having it on the ship itself. So Defender gains resilient defense. Recover 10% protection. I think that's Mace Windu's thing, isn't it? Or I forget what resilient. I thought the resilient defense is the one that you that it's like Mace Windu's fancy taunt. I could be wrong. At the start of each turn, if TIE Defender has special forces and resilient defense, it gains foresight for a turn. So it's at the start of each turn. So that's each like ship's turn, basically. If it has special forces, so if it came in as reinforcements, and if it has resilient defense, it gains foresight when the TIE Defender evades it, and it has special forces. It recovers stuff, and it gains turn meter. So it's giving the capital ship a lot of turn meter, and it's gaining a lot itself, and it's taunting quite a bit. Let's see, TIE Fighter allies. So if it comes in as reinforcements, they gain foresight for a turn. Ally ships gain 1 stack of formation until the end of the battle, or until TIE Defender is defeated and can't be copied, blah blah blah. Imperial TIE Fighter allies instead gain a stack of formation equal to blah blah blah. TIE Defender gains special forces. That's the only way you get special forces. Special forces gives abilities additional effects. So what's it trying to do, guys? It's pretty obvious that they wanted to go with the scythe. Like there's no question that they wanted to go with the scythe. And I guess we can just turn off our indignant, like, let's ignore canon kind of thing. Like, why don't they have... I'm not going to turn it off for a sec. I'm just going to say, I think it's a travesty. We have a capital ship that no one is using anyways. They're trying to just, like, take away our profundity counter in a lot of ways. Like, Executrix counters profundity. That's like, the thing. And maybe this is supposed to counter profundity. Maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll find out what happens. But it seems a little crazy right now because Scythe just dies instantly when it enters the fight. Like, it's just slow and dies. And you don't have a tank here. And it's just like, cool. Like, there's no real reason to be playing this fleet right now because the Scythe just dies and this doesn't protect it because this is in reinforcements, and we're also not given the ability to use this with Chimera. I mean, you can. It works with Imperials, I guess. Like, at the end of the day, I think we might just need to ignore a lot of this text and go put it with Chimera anyways, because we're going to be using we're going to be using the other fleet with Executrix because it's still just a better fleet, I think, unless they change something about Scythe. Like, I guess what CG needs to do, and I know I'm all over the place right now, guys, because there's a lot of things going on in this head of mine. Most of them totally inconsequential, but first off, I think it's sad that they're ignoring the canon, and they should have gone with Chimera anyways for all of this stuff, to have the Scythe go with the Chimera, have everything, because right now, we already have a really good fleet with Executrix and all of the really good Empire ships. We don't need anything more on that fleet. Like, they keep tacking more things on, and it's just like, okay, well, if this doesn't kill Profundity, then I don't know what good it does for me, frankly. Like, the other stuff with Chimera, it works well enough against other fleets, but not against the fleets that actually matter. And so, right now, there's nothing that no one, like a ton of the people in the professional community, not professional, but in the competitive community, aren't using the Scythe anyways. It just sits on the bench out of spite because it just screws you over if you try to take out Profundity with it. Like, it doesn't work because it dies instantly. Everyone just auto targets it until it's dead, and it doesn't stay alive for long enough to actually do anything. And this doesn't move the needle for that because it's a reinforcement. By the time it's in, and it doesn't even have an auto reinforcement. It's not like the TIE Interceptor that just like snap, it's in the first turn. It has to come in after 2 turns, after which I guarantee the Scythe is dead, and anything you try to do is just going to be worthless. So I don't really get it, guys. Like, they'll have to explain to me how the Scythe survives. Like, maybe they update the game to make the Scythe like not targeted by things all the time instantly, but right now it's just like, hey, the AI targets the Scythe, and you don't have a tank on the team, and everything kills the Scythe, and you're dead, and then the TIE Defender doesn't even come in because your whole fleet is dead. I don't get it. But that being said, this looks like a cool ship. It seems like there's something, they're like, this is what's missing, and it's like, no, what's missing is the Scythe not dying instantly. So if they can fix that, wonderful. Please fix that. Like, that's the thing. Alright, guys, letting you go. I have to eat lunch still. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails. Chimera and Thrawn do not, apparently.